I'm happy to be here with you again today to do some more flute practice. I hope that you have assembled your flute in the way we talked about in the last video, with head joint and foot joint in a comfortable position, head joint not pushed all the way in but pulled out a little bit, and hopefully you've tuned with a tuner. Feel pretty comfortable about the angle and position of your head joint. I'm going to give you a quick tuning note here to start so you can see if you match me. This is a B flat. Listen a couple of seconds and then join me and see if your B flat matches. Okay, and here's an F above that. This is F on top of the staff. Okay, and you can stop the video at any time if you need to take a little bit more time to make adjustments to your instrument or check a tuner. Okay, one thing I want to talk to you about today regarding posture and flute playing that I didn't mention last time is that flute players need to turn our head to the left when we play the flute. This is so important. It happens naturally. All of you probably have discovered this and do it anyway a little bit, but I want to encourage you to be comfortable with the fact that we turn our head to the left to play the flute. This is because we hold the flute out with both arms, and if we were to keep our head straight on, like marching band position, and bring the flute all the way up, I'm sitting in a chair right now, but ready to march. This shoulder is in a funny place. It's sort of up and back and not relaxed, and I'm pulling the flute back too far here. You get a lot of neck and shoulder problems if you try to keep your head straight on. And I can see in the video that I'm still turning my head to the left a little bit. So what we do when we play the flute is turn our head to the left just a little bit. Everything else should be very natural, good posture, straight spine, relaxed head. And we turn our head to the left and then bring the flute all the way up to our chin. This makes for a very comfortable posture. Now, the issue with that is that if my music stand or my conductor is right here, all of a sudden I'm looking to the left instead of at the conductor. So what do we have to do? We have to turn our bodies to the right. I'm in a swivel chair at my desk right now. If you are standing or sitting, you will need to turn your body a little bit to the right. So your feet, your knees are pointed a little at a 45-degree angle to the right. And you probably tend to sit catty corner in your chair in band. You may find that you sit down and sort of straddle the corner of the chair in band, that you sit sideways. It's perfectly fine to turn your chair if you need to. Then when you turn your head to the left and look right at your music stand or your conductor, you're in perfect playing position. So I want you to know that that's completely natural and the normal way to play the flute. Okay, we're going to get right to some music here. You remember this exercise from last time. This is a warm-up exercise that I use with all of my students. We're going to go through this really quickly, and I'm going to make a change to it this week. What you see on the screen is the notes you'll be playing, but we're going to add some tonguing this week. This video is all about tonguing and scales, getting those fingers moving and tonguing clear notes. So what I'm going to do is play the notes that you see here, but instead of the half note at the end, I'm going to do a little tonguing staccato exercise. It's going to sound like this. I'm playing the first measure here, F and C. So I'm slurring into that upper F, and then I'm tonguing two more staccato notes. Have a listen. I'll play a few of these. That's what the exercise sounds like. And what we'll do today is I'll play each one twice. You have a listen, and then you join me on the second one. As we get going here, if you can play both of them, that's terrific. So here we go. I'm beginning on F and C. Now moving to the second measure, F sharp and C sharp. next measure, G and D. And the idea here is that you go up, you take a full breath and go up to this higher note with energy and a nice bouncy feeling like a bouncing ball. Clear staccato notes as you tongue it. So you need fast little puffs of air. We're going to play A flat and E flat. Now A and E natural. Now we're on the next line, B flat and F. Going on, B natural, F sharp. Going on. This is C sharp and G sharp, which is the same as D flat and A flat. And one more, remember to play two different fingerings, use two different fingerings for middle D and high D. Okay, terrific. I like that exercise because it's very energizing, really makes you use your air and warms up that second register and your tongue just a little bit. All right, now we're going to play some major scales. Scales are important. They're the building blocks of music. And one of the ways that I tell my students to get comfortable playing all 12 major scales is to simplify them and to start with something easier, not as many notes. So what I've done here is made a little 5-note scale pattern for you that we'll play together. I'm going to play in all 12 keys today. Many band programs require their high school students to play to about 4 flats and 4 sharps on the circle of fifths, and that's just fine. If you haven't been exposed to 5 and 6 accidentals, you can stop and watch, or you can give it a try. Once you have learned to 4 sharps and 4 flats, you know 9 of the 12 major scales and 9 of the key signatures. There are only 3 left, and they're just not that bad. I'll show you that. So what we're going to do here is play a 5-note scale pattern, not too fast. This is notated in 16th notes just to make it easy to read on the page, but we're going to play these at a moderate slow tempo. The first one is all natural notes, so E natural here, starting on C. Sounds like this. Try that with me. And now we'll drop down to F and do an F major 5-note pattern. This has a B flat in it. Try that with me. Take a breath. All right, now we'll do B flat major, adding an E flat here. Join me. Great. Looking at the second line here, starting on E flat. This is E flat major, 5-note scale. I'm going to mix it up a little bit and put some tonguing in here. We're going to slur up and then tongue down nice short staccato notes with little puffs of air. Try that with me. Great. Great. Let's drop down to A flat and play A flat major. This one has a D flat in it. Try that with me. All right, and here we are to D flat major. One more time. Great. Now we get to the fun part. Here on this line, I've notated G flat major in measure 7 and in measure 8, F sharp major. These are the same fingerings and the same sounding pitches. So you can choose whether you like to think of this scale in G flat major or F sharp major. In G flat major, you have to think about a C flat here, which is the same as a B natural. And in F sharp major, you've got to deal with an A sharp right here. So you choose, have a listen. This is what it sounds like. We're going to go back to slurring all of this to just think about the notes, and I'm going to go slower. Not too bad. Give that a try with me. G flat or F sharp. Take a breath. Okay, and now we're definitely in sharp territory with B major. Watch out for your D sharp right here, starting on B. Join me. All right, last line. This is E major. Again. And let's do A major. Two more. Here's D major. And the last one is G major. Terrific. Now, if you're comfortable playing the first 5 notes of a major scale, you've only got to add a few notes to it and can expand it to play the whole pattern. So here we have a 5-note scale in each key, followed by the full scale. It goes up 8 notes and even has a 9th on top. So it has the extra note above the tonic. This is the C major scale, goes up to C and up 1 higher note. That's called a 9th. That's the D right there. All right, and this is how you can do these. Play the 5-note scale, take a big breath, and then expand it into the full scale. Now, on this page, I do not have the accidentals in front of the notes. You're going to have to look at the key signature, and remember, what's in the key signature. We've just played all of these, so they should be familiar to you. And as we move through each line and each key signature, a flat is added, or as we get into the sharps, a sharp is taken away and a note goes down a step and it has a natural. All right, so let's do C major together. 5 notes and then a full scale. Sounds like this. Big breath. All right, let's go to F. 1, 2. Big breath. Great. Next line is B flat major. 1, 2. Here's E flat major. 1, 2. Breathe. 1, 2. Breathe. D flat major. 1, 2. Okay, now we're into the fun part with G flat major and F sharp major notated on these two lines here. These are the same sounding scale, so you can choose whether you want to look at G flat major and deal with a C flat, or F sharp major and deal with an E sharp and an A sharp. All right, here we go. F sharp, G flat. 1, 2. B major. 1, 2. All right, here's E major. 1, 2. Breathe. Three are on the next page here. 1, 2. Breathe. Oh, I forgot to warn you. I put the little tonguing staccato on these last few as the keys get easier. So we'll tongue on the way down. Nice short puffs of air. And a clear tongue stroke. Oh, 2 more to go. Here's D major. 1, 2. And G major. 1, 2. Okay, terrific. Give yourself a pat on the back because you have played all 12 of your major scales in a couple of different ways. 5-note scale pattern and the full 1-octave scale with a 9th on top. That's really great. If this was challenging for you when we got to some of the difficult key signatures, no problem. It's something to work on. You can screenshot the video and take a look at those notes. Go back to the 5-note pattern and the difficult keys of B major, F sharp or G flat major, and D flat major. And just get comfortable with the first 5 notes of the scale and what that sounds like, and then expand it to the full scale. If this was easy for you, the way you can make it more challenging next time you practice is just stop the video when there are several of them on the screen and go ahead and do the 5-note patterns in 2 different octaves. So each one of these can be played low and high. So for C, I can start on my lowest C. And I can also do it up here. Some of them have different fingerings, like the C, low C and upper C that I just played for you have different fingerings. Some of them will have the same fingering, like F would be the same fingering. And up the octave. But watch out for those Ds and E flats that have different fingerings in every octave. Another thing you can do is take the 1-octave scale and expand it to 2 octaves. So for example, F major would go this way. So any of these scales you can play throughout your whole range and challenge yourself to go into the high register or start lower. It's been great working with you today. In my next video with you, we're going to talk about low and high notes, fingerings, a little bit of intonation, a little bit of vibrato as well. Now, open your band folder and practice something that your teacher has assigned or that's a little bit tricky for you. Happy flute practicing. I'll see you next time.